This is Channel 2 News with John Schubeck, Tricia Toyota, weather with Kevin O'Connell, and Jim Hill on sports. From Los Angeles, this is Channel 2 News Tonight.
It looked like a picture-perfect takeoff. The familiar brilliance of the Space Shuttle liftoff, then it turned deadly.
Now at 104%. Challenger, go at throttle up.
Challenger, go at throttle up.
72 seconds after launch, the shuttle Challenger exploded. The flaming wreckage hurtled into the ocean. All 7 people on board were killed instantly. Good evening, everybody. It may take a long time to find out exactly what went wrong today aboard the shuttle Challenger, but speculation tonight is centering on possible problems in the shuttle's massive main fuel tank. The fuel tank is the large orange tank which separates from the shuttle once it is empty. Alongside the tank are 2 booster rockets. The slow motion shows how the explosion spread. It appears to start in one of the rocket boosters, then spreads to the main tank. The boosters continue to fly in the picture after the explosion occurs, indicating the fire might well have started in the fuel tank itself. That tank holds 525,000 gallons of liquid hydrogen and oxygen, the most explosive elements in the entire system. NASA will not say whether there could have been a problem in the tank or in a fuel line. The search for debris, meantime, continues. That debris rained down for some 45 minutes over an area 18 miles off the coast. The biggest piece recovered so far measures 2 feet by 10 feet. Investigators will examine the debris and all flight data, and until they find out what went wrong, there will be no more shuttle missions. The shuttle program has always had a big impact here in Southern California. Many of the shuttle's parts are built here, and the shuttle most often returned to Earth at Edwards Air Force Base before enthusiastic crowds. There was an atmosphere of celebration as when this Challenger mission landed in 1983.
Oh, it was such a thrill. I really enjoyed it.
But the space age began at Edwards long before the shuttle. The X-1 rocket plane made history here, breaking the sound barrier in 1947. The man who flew it, Chuck Yeager, he talked about the impact of today's disaster.
You can't stop a research program or a space program such as the shuttle because our entire future in space depend on logical steps that the shuttle is one of. And that you know, you always get into a flap when an accident occurs. As I mentioned, the Gander accident in the DC-8, that causes a flap. This will cause a flap. But obviously it'll settle down and we'll get back to work and find out what caused it and fix what caused it and press on.
There are a few places where the space program means more than Edwards Air Force Base. It was here the shuttle Enterprise was first tested. It was here where many missions, of course, have landed. And it's here where the astronauts are among friends, among their own kind. It's here at Edwards Air Force Base where tonight the pain of loss is so personal.
And I walked into this room and there was a television set on there. There's about 20 pilots and 20 engineers sitting around, standing around watching. And it was just stone silent.
I don't think you're ever really prepared for a disaster.
At Edwards, the jet trails blaze the mark of progress in a crystal sky today. This is a place that has shed tears for the brave before. It's a place that mourns the cost of the future again this evening. With that characteristic sonic boom, the space shuttle Challenger sped safely back to Earth last May. Challenger had completed another successful mission. It was bringing its crew safely home, a crew that included Taylor Wang of Pasadena's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Taylor Wang says crew members knew of the dangers, but they considered what might happen and because of that drew up wheels.
We were advised many times the risk associated with this kind of mission, and we accept it. It's part of the package. Any shuttle flight, it's a part of the package.
Wang had friends aboard Challenger today, friends he had made while training for his own mission. Wang says that despite today's tragedy, he will fly a shuttle mission again. There's still shock tonight for the people who helped pave America's journey through space. Workers at the Jet Propulsion Lab in Pasadena gathered around television screens to watch the launch this morning. It wasn't long before the excitement written across their faces turned to horror as they watched their work and their friends destroyed in an instant.
I didn't believe it at first. I knew it would happen, though. I just didn't believe it. I was shocked, and I was speechless.
Some workers admitted today's tragedy was something everybody had feared, but they also vowed that the shuttle program will be back. And at Rockwell International in Downey, the feeling was much the same. All was quiet there today, production almost coming to a standstill as workers milled around to talk about what happened.
No reaction.
You wonder, well, is it part of Rockwell's fault, or is it, some icicle fall off into, fuselage, or, it's really hard to say,
Very sad. We're all very upset. Very sorry for the families. We feel like this is part of our family.
The Challenger was a $1.1 billion bird. It was theirs. All are anxious tonight there at Rockwell to find out what went wrong today. Rockwell also was a prime contractor in the Apollo spacecraft, which you'll recall in 1967 went up in a ball of flames during a pre-launch run-through. All 3 astronauts dying in that case. 3 of the astronauts on board the Challenger today had special ties to Southern California, but those ties were perhaps strongest for payload specialist Gregory Jarvis. He and his wife lived in Hermosa Beach. For years, he had been an engineer at Hughes Aircraft in El Segundo. For his family, today's tragedy held an ironic twist. Jarvis had been bumped from 2 previous shuttle missions. Co-workers say today's was supposed to be the day he'd waited for his entire life.
Was he real excited about
this? He was ready to go. Ready to go. And he wanted to, he just wanted to, he told me he was going to send me a postcard, It was kind of wild.
Robinson says he hopes that the thrill of going up was the last thing Jarvis remembered. The astronaut Judy Resnick, meantime, lived and worked in Southern California. It was here where she got the news that NASA wanted her for the space program, and she excelled in that program. Judy Resnick was a mission specialist and electrical engineer. Today's flight was her second. In 1984, Miss Resnick became the second American woman in space on board the shuttle Discovery. NASA was impressed when she expertly worked the robot arm of the ship to break off ice. Former co-workers at the Xerox plant in El Segundo were proud. Today they were shocked. A friend showed us a picture of Judy.
She's the kind of person that would be on the next flight if there was an opportunity, even though there was an accident. She didn't have any fear. She was very courageous. Very courageous.
And Judy's uniform and memorabilia from her first flight are already in the LA Museum of Science and Industry. She's being honored along with other women scientists and engineers.
On the one hand, she's a celebrity, and on the other hand, she's at the cutting edge of one of our greatest adventures going on today, the Space Shuttle and space exploration.
Judy Resnick, who today gave her life for the dream she believed in, and her friends and co-workers here in the Southland say they will not forget her. Another astronaut with strong ties to this area was Ronald McNair. This was McNair's second shuttle flight. He was an expert in laser physics, as well as a musician and martial arts expert. A year ago, he talked about space flight and the moment of blastoff.
It's non-stop excitement. There are so many high points that I can think of, but I would have to say the most exciting would have to be liftoff. Why? Mm-hmm. Well, it's very dynamic. You build up the countdown, and T-minus 0, it's a lot of vibration, shake, rattle, and rolling, and it's like a big joyride. Very pleasant, no stress involved.
The Olympic torch burning brightly tonight in the Coliseum, honoring all 7 of the astronauts who died so tragically early today. Today's tragedy touches the hearts of all Americans, not just us in the Southland, of course. The Olympic symbol, the torch, will burn till tomorrow night, reminding us that the Olympic goal of courage and excellence was met today by these brave astronauts, and we will not forget that. We will not forget them.